let's just proceed to the last question related to this paper. Okay, and again let me just scroll this thing little bit larger here. See, now the question is saying a certain virus is cultured in a laboratory. Okay, before proceeding to the question, let's just discuss the credentials. See, this, of course, this question number 11 belongs to the problem solving and data analysis part. Okay, and the subtopic, like to which topic from this module it belongs to. So it belongs to so many topics. That means it has so many things to relate with that. So see, it belongs to ratios, rates, proportional relationships, and units. Okay, and along with that, one thing that is not mentioned here in the skill part, that it belongs to, majorly it belongs to exponential functions. Okay, and that you will understand once we have a solution for that. Once we have an attempt on the question, then you will understand that that belongs to exponential functions. Okay, and of course the level of question is medium only, it's not at all tough, so no need to worry. Okay, now see, now let's just proceed with the question number 11. See, question is saying a certain virus is cultured in a laboratory. They were 1, then 6 times 0. So obviously it's 10 power 6. Okay, so let me just call it as 10 power 6. So they were 10 power 6 viruses before the start of the experiment. Okay, that means at the beginning, how many viruses were there? I can say 10 power 6 viruses were there. Okay, now further the question is saying the number of viruses doubles every 4 hours. Okay, so I'm going to mark some stars here because of course this line is going to play a very important role. So they have mentioned initially the number of viruses were 10 power 6. Okay, and they are getting doubles in every 4 hours. Okay, this is the relation. Now, how many viruses will there be after 20 hours at the start of, after the 20 hours of the start of the experiment? That's what the question is asking to. Now see, for such kind of questions that belongs to the exponential function. Why it is exponential? Because see, it is getting double in every 4 hours. So it is of course exponential growth, not a linear growth. Okay, so for such kind of question here, I'm going to give you a formula by which, without even touching your pen, you can solve each and every question related to that. So see, the formula suggests y is equals to P0 to the power, like factors power, n by b. Okay, so just that much is the formula, but you need to understand what is P0 here, what is n here, and what is b here, what is factor here, and what is y here. Okay, now see, here P0 represents the initial amount, or you can say, like for this question, it is the initial amount of viruses present. Okay, so can I say the value of P0 is 10 power 6 here? You tell me, because see, initially it was 10 power 6. Okay, now factor here represents, it can be either a growth factor or it can be a decay factor. So let me just write down, see, either it can be a growth one or it can be a decay one. Okay, but whatever the factor is here, you should write down that. Okay, now how to calculate what is the factor? See, the question is saying they are getting doubles every 4 hours. Na? Okay, so what is the factor? If it was 100%, okay, that means if it was 1 initially, so they will become 2. Are you getting my point? So of course your factor will be 2. So let me just write down the value of factor will be 2 here. Okay, now B here represents the number of time taken from the initial to become equivalent to the factor. That means if it was 1 initially, if it was 100% initially, so how much time it is taken to become 200%? How much time it is taken to become double? Okay, that's what your B is. So can I say the value of B is 4 here? See, because it takes 4 hours to get double. Okay, in every 4 hours it gets double. Okay, n here represents the years, the number of years that is mentioned, or you can say it is the unit of time. Okay, so see here, if the question is mentioned in the years, so n will become time in years. If it is mentioned in hours, so obviously n will become in hours. It is just unit of time. Okay, so n here, because see, the question is asking after 20 hours, so of course my value of n will become 20. Okay, then y represents what? It is the population, or you can say final amount after n years. Okay, or you can say n unit of time. Okay, Okay, so because my question is asking what will be the population of virus after 20 hours, so of course my n value will become 20. Okay, and that is why y is going to give you the final answer. So you just have to remember this formula and the credentials. So what are the credentials? P0 is the initial value. Okay, factor means it is actually the multiplying factor. Okay, so just assume 100% is equivalent to 1. Okay, so because my question was saying it gets double, that means that will become 200%. So obviously the factor will become what? 2. That is why we have the factor value as 2. Okay, then B is what? B is the number of time, or you can say number of hours taken to become equivalent to factor. Okay, from the initial value. So initially it was 10 power 6 and it takes 4 hours to become double. So obviously my B value comes out as 4 only, and because it is asking for 20 hours, so n value comes out as 20. Okay, so just put down these values in this formula and do calculate. So see, my y is what? It is the final population after n hours. Okay, so that would be, see, P0 was 10 power 6 into factor is what? 2, n is what? 20, b is what? 4. So just simplify this expression and take the final answer. See, it would be 10 power 6 into 2 to the power what? 5. So 2 to the power 5 means what? 32. So it would be 32 into 10 power 6, or you can say it would be 32 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 0. So that much is going to be the population of viruses after 20 hours. Okay, and is there any option which is saying? So just have a look on option B. See, it is saying 32 into 10 to the power 6. Okay, so these many number of viruses will be there after 20 hours of this experiment. Are you getting this thing? Okay, so what is important here? Only and only this formula and its credentials are important. Like what is P0, how to find factor, what is n, and what is P here. Okay, so I hope this last and the very easy question number 11 is clear to you. Okay guys, so this was all enough for today. Thank you so much. Have a good day. This is Sachi Maheshwari.